Right, now I've just about got to the widest part. Now you know when you put the needle through and you're just pulling the thread up, you end up with this loop here. Can you see that loop there? Okay, well what I do when I've got to the end of a section that I'm doing, instead of just pulling it tight, I slip the needle through that hole, through that loop, like that, and then I pull it tight. Okay. Show you that again. I'll do it again. Push it through, and I've got that loop, and I'll pass the needle through it. It means that the thread is crossing over the other thread, and when I pull it tight, it locks it. Okay, locks it in place. Having just locked that in place by putting it through that loop, I've got a bit of thread left over here, and I never like wasting it. If I cut it, it's going to be too short for me to do anything with, so I'm just going to go back over these other threads and give it a bit more strength. I won't get far because I don't have much left, but it won't hurt to go a little way. I'm whip stitching at the moment because if you want and you've got that much left, you could, you can see how far it would go if I was just to go in and out, all the way down, and that would tidy it up and get rid of the thread, but it wouldn't really add that much strength to it, so I'm just gonna keep whip stitching it for a little bit here. I won't be able to go the whole length because I want to lock it up again like I did just now, and I might do that now. Got enough to reach? Yep, you see I've only just got enough to reach that needle there to get through because I'm running out of length of thread. So I'll pass that through there again and I pull it tight. I wonder if I can do that one more time. I've got enough needle. Yeah, keep pulling it through. Yes, just. Okay, through that loop. Pull it tight. Okay. Cut it off. Then I'll start on the other side. Okay, I'm just coming up to that section again where I think I'll have to stop so I've got enough room to get the bottle in. I could try the bottle in a minute, and if I still got plenty of room I could keep going for a little way, but just before I do I'm going to just lock that up again. Remember that? Putting it through that loop and pulling it tight. I'll put another one through there, put it through the loop and pull it tight. And that way when I'm messing around trying to get the bottle in, these threads aren't going to be pulling out, okay, and getting loose. So that's locked in there, that's not going anywhere. I'll leave the rest of that thread on the needle there now, and we'll give that bottle a try and see if I've still got some brandy left in this. If I start drinking it, I'll make a mess of the leatherwork. So let's just see if we can get it in there. Yeah, she's going to be tight. Probably should have left it back a bit further, but I think we can do it. Yep. Okay, yeah, we can get it in there, I think. Okay. I don't want to go all the way and do that yet because I want to get the labels off this bottle, but the reason I want to do that is because if this should ever get wet, the leather itself may dry out, but if these labels on this modern bottle inside get wet, they won't dry out as quickly, and they'll be damp underneath this leather. So, and of course, before I put this in, I've got to turn this inside out. But now I know that will go in. I can put my hand inside and pull it out like so. And you remember I said I'd have a bag. I'd end up with a bag with a couple of flaps, and that's what I've got. Okay, I've got a better to line this up here. Yeah, leather seems to pull and stretch, and you can never bank on it being perfect. At least I can't. But then, you know, I'm not a leather worker by trade. I'm a woodsman, and a woodsman does the best he can with what he's got, and that's what I'm doing. And so if you end up making something and you think, well, it looks pretty rough, just remember that that's the way it is, and that's probably the way it would have been. We can't all be experts at everything. And doing leather work is not one of my greatest achievements, but when I do make things, they do seem to be at least workable. So I don't kick myself around too much. Okay, that's as far as I've got for now. After I've got that bottle ready, I'll come back and we'll do some more. Just taking a break from the stitching. Shave this cork down a bit. There were corks, by the way, in the early to mid 18th century. A lot of people say there wasn't, and it has to be a wood stopper, but that's not true. That's not the facts. Bottles of wine were using cork stoppers quite early on. Careful not to take off too much at once. Fortunately, I was brought up in an age when we peel potatoes with a knife. There we go. Good fit. Okay. Cool. It's a clip fit, and it's a bit saggy at the bottom, a bit loose there, a bit wrinkled. I spent a lot more time on it. I could probably pull that out, but then I have to say to myself, is it really worth it? I mean, that looks, so far that looks pretty good, I think. Looks pretty neat. So I don't think I'll muck around with that too much. Now this part's a little bit harder, and it's very difficult to actually keep it neat if you're a pretty rough stitcher like I am. And I'm going to do the best I can with it. And as the thread is now on the inside, I'll have to pass it through. Just pass it through the outside by coming up through here. Okay, now the thread's on the outside. I can go in from here, bring this light a little bit further over. And we start stitching the outside up, like so. Sometimes the thread gets a bit twisted, you just have to run your fingers down it, untwist it. Again, take plenty of leather because you're going to be pulling it tight and you don't want it to break out. We pull it too. We're going to keep going all the way up there. And hopefully this lot will slowly come together and look reasonable. But as you can see, that this part of the leather back here, it's fairly flat and straight, and that was good. This part around here is crinkled up, and that's because that part of the leather got stretched more than the other part. Not whilst I was doing the work, but beforehand, when the leather was prepared, when it was scraped before tanning, it's been stretched right out, so it gets these wrinkles. But that's alright, you've got to work with what you've got. I could have probably found a straighter piece on there, but it would have mean cutting the bottle right out of the centre of the leather, and the bits around it would have been, not much use to me. So I'm trying to be economical with the piece of leather that I've got as well. So I just have to put up with this and do the best I can with it.